Since 2018 is coming to an end, yeah, that's why I'm sitting in front of a Christmas tree over here, we decided that we would go through all of our comments on videos from 2018 and pick out some of our all-time favorite tips from you guys. Because we always ask for comment questions at the end of a video, you guys tend to fill the comment space with all kinds of great cleaning hacks and tips and ideas. And we learned so much from you. So in this video, we'd like to highlight some of our favorites, kind of a nice way to wrap up the end of the year and a nice way to shout out to all of you guys who send out your amazing tips and ideas each and every week in the comments section. So in this video, your tips. And just a quick reminder, if you haven't done so already, to subscribe to the Clean My Space channel and give this video a thumbs up if you've got your holiday decorations ready to go. So in no particular order, here we go. Debra Lynn says, I take a notebook and write each room in my house on top of each page. Then I sit in each room and make a checklist on its page of things that I want to do in each room. Next, I go through and highlight each task. Pink for urgent, yellow for really want to do, and green for dream task. I like the dream task. Throughout the week, I check off items as I get them done. I have ADD, and this system allows me to skip around to different rooms, check off tasks, and feel like I got something done. I also aim to do the pink and yellow items before diving into the green. I hope I explained that well. Debra Lynn, you have, and I want to say one thing. I've received so many emails over the years since we've started Clean My Space where people reach out and they say, I have ADD or ADHD or so many other things that might be a challenge for them, and they've found a way to make cleaning work for them and their lifestyle. We all want to live in a cleaner space, but many of us face challenges, whether it's overwhelm or ADD or anything else, that might prevent us from being effective. So the fact that you came up with this system and it works for you and your particular needs, that is incredible. And let this serve as a great lesson to anybody else who is challenged or struggling with their cleaning. This is a system that can work for you, and if this doesn't work for you, something else can. Catherine Lore says, I hate cleaning my shower. I've never met someone who loves cleaning their shower, just for the record. So what I do is I have a dish wand, one of those with handles that you can fill up with soap, and I fill it with dish soap and vinegar. Every day I wash down the wall or tub while I'm in there. Super easy, super quick, super cheap, and my daughter loves to do it as well. This is something that is very popular. Many people like to clean their shower this way. I have a couple of extra pointers I want to throw in there just to make sure that you're on the up and up and you're doing it properly. If you have vinegar filled in the wand, you want to make sure that you're not leaving it on your tile or on the wall. If it is a natural stone material, the vinegar can eventually discolor it or potentially ruin it. So that's something to be mindful of. You might just want to keep it standing up in a glass, or not a glass, but a cup of some sort, something that'll keep it safe. And the second thing is just to take care of your own self when you're in the shower. Dish soap can be really slippery. So if you're doing your cleaning, you just want to make sure that you're on a grippy surface so that you're doing it safely. Day Day says, I like to start getting ready about 15 minutes earlier than I should. This way, when I'm ready to leave for work or school, I have an extra 15 minutes. Since I can't really start any project with such limited time, I use it to do short cleaning tasks like taking out the trash, emptying the litter box, wiping down all of my counters, folding some clothes, picking up dirty clothes off the floor, etc. I love this. This is yet another example of how people are finding ways to build cleaning into their schedule that works for them and makes sense for them. That extra 15 minutes, oh my gosh, you can accomplish so much cleaning in that time. Now that's something that I will do anytime I'm able to secure an extra 5 or 10 minutes somewhere, or even if I'm doing another task, I'll always find ways to incorporate cleaning into it. That way my house is just sort of being cleaned on an ongoing basis instead of me letting it pile up, because that is when I get the most stressed out. That was a great tip, thank you. Lisa Mack proclaims, I don't know if this is a tip or not, but I heard this quote and it really resonated and stuck with me. Don't put it down, put it away. I say this to myself all the time. I love that. I've never heard it said that particular way, but I have heard this concept before, and it's so true. It's kind of like have a place for everything and put everything in its place. The best way to keep your home clean is to tidy it on an ongoing basis. And if you have a glass that you've just finished drinking from and you put it down wherever you happen to be, that glass isn't going to move itself to the kitchen. You have to take it there. So keep in mind that if you want to keep your home tidy and you want to keep it looking good, don't put something down, put it away. Betty O says, I find the simple act of making my bed first thing in the morning, every morning, keeps my bedroom under control. Anything out of place or clutter becomes obvious and is dealt with. At least one room in my house is always looking great. It's true, but the simple act of making your bed, your room just feels like a much more clean, organized, happy, and healthy space. And it just takes a couple of minutes to do. We've talked about this before in videos where the simple act of making your bed can really change and affect your day for the better. I also liked her point about being able to spot any other clutter in your room and having it be so much more obvious because you have that nice, clean, smooth surface of a bed. Plus, nothing feels better than when you're about to get into bed than the opportunity to remove the sheets and kind of cuddle up in there. Anna Montero says, a thing I like to do when I'm washing the dishes or cleaning the kitchen is to spray and soak the stove while I'm washing the dishes. That way I only need to wipe it down for it to be clean instead of having to scrub it or use elbow grease. This is fabulous because Anna is using the concept of pre-treating, which is something that I talk about all the time. So this makes me very excited to know that you guys are doing it. Essentially, you can use pre-treating in any space of your home that requires heavy-duty scrubbing, lifting, cleaning, whatever it is. You can spray product on there or apply it, whatever product is appropriate for that particular area. Allow it to sit while you go and take care of other tasks. And then by the time you come back to it, the product has actually had the opportunity to do the work that it is supposed to do, making the heavy lifting the burden of the product and not you. So all you have to do is give it sort of a gentle wipe and you're more handling the removal of product than you are the heavy lifting and the scrubbing. So great concept and great work. This one comes from Turkish Superhuman, and I don't know if he is indeed Turkish or superhuman, but that's what his name is. And he says, Postits to clean the gunk in between keyboards. This is a tip. Chad and I actually figured this one out a long time ago when we were trying to figure out how to clean his gamer controls. They get so crusty, and we folded up a tiny Post-it note and we used the pointiest corner to kind of scrape out all of the gunk in and around the areas where those game controllers have seams and like your hand sweat gets in there. So I'm so happy that Turkish Superhuman mentioned this because it's a great way to clean all of your electronics, remotes, keyboards, as he said, anything where your hands are constantly touching and dirt can get in there. If they're tight grooves and hard to reach, that folded corner is really gonna make a difference. Samantha Holland says, switch on a flashlight and lay it on the floor. The darker the room, the better, while you sweep or vacuum your hard floors. You have to move it around the room a few times. Every speck of dust or strand of hair will be highlighted and or have a shadow that you cannot miss. Make sure the light is actually on the surface of the floor and not just shining on it. I use a rechargeable LED strip light for mine. It is shocking. I've never heard this before. This is brilliant. When I teach people how to clean for my cleaning company, I always tell them to use the light to help them identify areas that they have missed. And that is exactly what Samantha is doing here. You see, if you look straight on to a surface, you can't always see where the dirt is. But if you start moving around, you know how Instagrammers will sort of like move their phone around to get the best light and to find the best angles? That's exactly what you're doing with cleaning. You're kind of moving around and using the light to show you, oh, if I look straight on at this window, I can't see anything. But if I look here, all of a sudden, I can see all of the fingerprints and streaks. She's using the same idea for the floor by just shining light on the surface and using that to illuminate any areas that she's forgotten to clean. Sunshine Rose Vlogs says, when I clean my room, I put everything on my bed because then I can't go to bed or chill in my room until I sort it out. Now, this is a great way to get yourself motivated. If you say to yourself, my room needs to be clean, you get everything on top of that bed. So that way, and she's exactly right, you can't relax until your room is clean. Now, funny little thing that you guys should know, Chad is the tidier of our house and I'm the cleaner. Like, I actually do the scrubbing and the disinfecting, but Chad is really good at tidying. But what he does is he kind of makes all these piles, and where do those piles end up? They end up on our bed. So whenever he goes through and tidies, I know there's gonna be a giant portion of things for me to manage that are on my bed. And Some nights when I'm horribly tired and lazy and whatever else, I will just put them on the floor. But that's just being honest, but most times I will look at the stuff that he's put on the bed and I will put it away before I get in there so that I truly can relax or chill. You are absolutely right about that. Peachylicious079 says, I put my sponge and scrubber together with my dirty dishes in the dishwasher. When I do this, I use the hottest cycle. It cleans my sponge and scrubber just fine. This is a great tip. It's a great way to keep those grungy products clean. I know my scrub brushes and sponges, I don't know why, I clean them after each use, but they get gross. So putting them in the dishwasher is a great way to go. Now, a couple of tips here just to make sure that everything stays safe. Put those items on the top rack of the dishwasher, and what I like to do is sort of create a little space for them. So I don't like to jam my dirty sponge next to a glass that I'm gonna be drinking out of. Rather, I sort of create a little area for them so that they're not touching anything else and they can really get cleaned. I also like to put everything face down so that the sprayer can actually hit all of the surfaces that I want to have clean. Just putting it in the dishwasher, even if it's on the Honda cycle, oftentimes isn't enough. Courtney Hughes has a great idea, I'm sure one many of you can relate to. Once you clean your house, don't let the children or husband or wife back in. In all seriousness though, we always leave the room better than when we entered it. That rule works really well for me. And that rule works really well for me too. Frankly, I'm the one that shouldn't be let into the house after it's been cleaned because I tend to make the mess. But it's so true. Whenever you leave a room, and I've talked about this concept before, having hands full on your way out. Anytime you see a space, if there's something that can be quickly tidied or put away before you leave that space, that's a great way to keep it looking good. And if there's anything that's cluttering up a space that doesn't belong there, just take it with you on your way out, do a quick stop off in your kitchen before you head off to your bedroom, and that way you're always keeping the flow of goods moving in your house, and there's no stop-ups or plug-ups or anything that really is allowed to build up over time, because that's how clutter builds, that's how mess builds, and that's how overwhelm becomes a thing. We could have made this video so much longer because you guys, the Clean My Space Nation, have such incredible tips and ideas and ways to manage your cleaning challenges throughout the year and around your homes and your living spaces. So please continue to share the love and the good word by dropping in the comments down below what your favorite cleaning tip, hack, or concept is. I am constantly learning from you guys. You are constantly learning from each other, so let's keep this conversation going. I'd love to read your ideas in the comments. Here are a couple of other videos I think you're going to love, and if you want to learn more about Maker's Clean Microfiber Cloths, you can click this button right over here. There is a button down there that lets me know you care, so click it if you liked this video, and click this button right here to subscribe and begin your journey to a cleaner life. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.